word depressed. People don't want to watch the news. They don't want to hear about Iraq. They don't want to hear about Iran. They don't want to hear about the nutty North Korean guy. They want to watch Bowling for Dollars or Dialing for the Dancing with the Stars. Are you going to be on that?
I'm sorry?
Are you going to be on the Dancing with the Stars thing?
You bonehead!
Yeah, I know.
Nearly to the number of 3,000 Americans so far. So yes, people are depressed, but it's not because they want to watch Dancing with the Stars.
No, but they don't want to hear about the bad world that we live in. It's an evil world that we live in. Let me ask you something, and this is a serious question. Do you want the United States to win in Iraq? To win in Iraq?
First of all, I don't...
It's an easy question. If you don't want the United States to win in Iraq...
It's not easy for me because I'm thoughtful. How about that? That was a good one.
That was great, Dave. You get paid for those.
No, but what I would like would be for Americans to stop dying and for there to be stability in that part of the world. Now, if that means an American victory, okay. But I'm not sure that you can have stability in that part of the world with or without an American presence now. So I would do whatever it takes to stop Americans dying.
Do you think that before the Iraq and...
Well, you know, in the beginning, here was my position in the beginning, and I think I sort of felt the way everybody did. We felt like we wanted to do something because something terrible had been done to us. We did not understand exactly why. All we knew was something terrible, something heinous, something obscene had been done to us. So while it didn't necessarily make as much sense to go into Iraq as it did perhaps going into Afghanistan, I, like most everybody else, felt like, yes, we need to do something. We need to do something. And as the weeks turned into months and into years, and one death became a dozen deaths, and 100 deaths, and 1,000 deaths, then we began to realize, you know what, maybe we're causing more trouble over there than the whole effort has been worth.
Possible. But do you want, right now, do you want the United States to stability?
Dangerous violence taking place then in Iraq, or is there more heinous, dangerous violence taking place now in Iraq?
It's pretty much a tie.
Well, then
come on. Saddam Hussein slaughtered 400,000 people, all right? So knock it off. It's a situation that's fluid, but here's the deal. You can object to the policy
that wasn't the reason we went over there.
No,
we went over there because there was weapons of mass destruction. It turned out there were no weapons of mass destruction. Right. And now, what everybody is saying, what about Kim Jong-il? Not only are we guessing that he has weapons of mass destruction, he's saying, hey, look at me. We're setting another one off. Come on over.
Yeah, I don't think that's a guess, Dave.
Well,
I think when he sets it off, we got a clue.
Well, then why don't we go there? Because he actually has weapons of mass destruction.
Why don't we go there and do what? What do you want to do? You want to drop an atomic bomb on it?
What were we supposed to do going into Iraq then?
What we were supposed to do is that the United States government believed that Saddam had a WMDs, okay? And they were wrong. People make mistakes in war. Now, Tony Blair was wrong, Colin Powell was wrong, all these people were wrong.
So that means we've made a mistake in war, so we stay there and kill as many Americans as we possibly can. That's the way you get out of a mistake.
No. What you do is you try to maximize...
And do you honestly believe, irrespective... I don't care. Irrespective of what the... Oh, sure, help yourself.
Thank you. We're really friends. This is all an act. We're buddies. We bowl. Like Warnock here or what?
What's your best guess?
What I'm trying to tell you is...
What is your best guess?
I don't know. What I'm trying to tell you is this is geopolitics in the world we live in is incredibly complicated. The reason to go into Iraq was WMDs with a mad dictator, okay? That was the reason. It was wrong. If we could go back in a time machine, we wouldn't do it.
But how does staying there killing more and more Americans make it right? How do you make a right decision out of a wrong decision?
If you get out of it.
It looks to me like the country is going to fall apart anyway, regardless of what people do. Do you think stability will prevail over there?
If you get out of Iraq and leave it in chaos, Iran comes in, takes over, all right? And then we basically have a 10 times worse situation because the oil flow then goes under the jihadists in Iran. You want to debate geopolitics with me? Do you really?
It's all about oil. You just answered the question.
Absolutely, it's all about oil. The whole world is about oil.
Right. It's all about oil. That's why we're there. Big deal.
Your show's not going to be on
left and right.
All right, look. Do you actually think that we're a bad country for doing what we did, and Bush is an evil man? Is that what you're
I don't know that I think
a very complicated situation.
Well,
We made a mistake on WMDs. That is true.
All right, solve
all
this.
kinds of trouble.
But why
The
didn't we
intent-
stay in
the
Afghanistan? Why didn't we
intent
stay
was
in
noble.
Afghanistan? It seemed to me that Afghanistan was more directly the source. I mean, there's been no tie proven between Saddam Hussein and Al-Qaeda,
You know
the
what-
Taliban, anything.
You know
why
what
didn't we stay in
Ansar al-Islam is? Do you know what that is? You don't. All right, and I'm not saying this in a condescending way. I'm really not, okay? I'm not going to